I'm so happy. I have been away from here, which is literally my second home, my love. If you don't know, I started getting involved with JetBlue in middle school. That's when I started first connecting with JetBlue pilots. Then I was invited to this aviation camp with JetBlue where I got to this was in high school, where I got to just fly my first plane and go to the hangar and just do everything like a real plane, like everything that you could dream of if you're an aviator. And then the next year I got invited back to be like a counselor in training. Then JetBlue flew me out to do this speaking gig with them in Orlando. I'm so happy. Yeah, so then after that I started doing like flight lessons whenever I could after that program, and just started really getting involved with aviation. I spoke at the Organization of Black Aerospace Professionals Conference. That's when they flew me out to Orlando. After that, they continued to work with me. I hosted JetBlue's Instagram. They worked with me to do stuff with the JetBlue Foundation. They sponsored an episode of my show. I am flying for a very nice price called free right now. I just love JetBlue so much, and I love what how JetBlue started out is pretty miraculous if you don't know. And so to see them now with a full terminal, like this was an airline with just one gate when I was born. We're literally the same age, except now I'm 22, they're still 21. But to see JetBlue open up all these different cities, to see all these people fly this airline is incredible. And so I think that's what's just really, really inspiring to me. And if you don't know, okay, this is gonna be my last thing. JetBlue's mission is to actually inspire humanity. And so that's kind of in line with what I love. And what I kind of want to do is just embrace humanity and kind of inspire people to embrace their humanity. So it's just really, really touching and lovely. I have so many friends here at HQ, LSC, if you know, in Orlando, in-flight crew members, pilots, everyone. So it's just really makes me so happy to be here. This is really like a second home. I feel more safe here than anywhere. My last flight, I actually want to see if I can find the date. March 6th, 2020. It is July 10th, 2021. Over a year and a half, I'm pretty sure, right, if I can calculate right, of dreaming of flying, of taking little flight lessons whenever I could. But I haven't been on an airliner since then. And I have wanted this so bad. I wanted to be here so bad. This is truly my happy place. And I think that I had to kind of learn, this guy was just staring at me. I had to kind of learn how to be happy without my happy place. And it's so odd when you don't have that place of comfort and love to turn to. And when you're forced to just kind of like do it on your own, to grow on your own, and to be happy on your own. And I think although that was really hard, I think I did learn a lot of how I could be happier, how I could be me, and how I could bring the vibes of the things I wanted to me now, right? Like if I could feel like I feel when I fly JetBlue every single day, of course, maybe that would make JetBlue less special. I don't know. Like maybe, if you're experiencing it every single day, but maybe it would just make it, I don't know. But I just feel like I exude such good energy when I'm here, and I'm so happy when I'm here. And I think I have gotten to a place where I don't want to say the happiness level doesn't increase, but because I am happy without this, and I'm learning to find, I think over a year and a half of working on this and being forced to work on this, finding my happiness within and not outside, right? So even though this is like my happy place, if I can't come here, I can still live the JetBlue values. I can still be as I would be if I were here. And I think it's just like in line with, finding your alignment, finding your vibrational alignment, and just like manifesting everything that you want in your life. And I feel like that's kind of what I did now is manifest this opportunity and manifest flying. And I'm literally like I'm literally going to Reno, Nevada. And in Flight Simulator, when I was super young, like in middle school, there was this game you would play, and basically, like, you could only have this add-on for a certain number of miles, and you had to start in the Bay Area, California. So I would start at SFO, and then pretty much the farthest you could go is Reno. So I would land in Reno to get all these different add-ons and stuff of like passenger sound effects and telling the flight attendants to serve and flying the plane, all that. And ever since then, I've had this like Reno has just had a little place in my heart, and I've never been there. I don't know anyone from there. I'm going to Reno, and it's just crazy. And the only reason this is happening, I'm really actually going to Portland. The only reason this is happening because the ticket that I have with JetBlue, there has to be specific space available, and all the Portland flights were booked with that kind of ticket. So I was kind of stuck. And Reno was open. Sacramento was filled. Portland was filled. Seattle was filled. Boise was filled. I think Boise might not have been filled, but you couldn't rent a car in Boise because of how packed the rental car things are. So I think it's just been quite wild that now this is happening. And I was kind of like forced into this dream life. You know what I mean? Like, I wouldn't have done this on my own. I wouldn't have flown to Reno on my own. So I'm just kind of inspired, and all these people are coming up, which is why I'm like nervous a little bit, but I shouldn't be, because I've worked so hard for this. And I think it's really a huge thing to be able to say you can be happy and you can find your happiness without being at your happy place. And then when you get here, you just get so much good energy and good vibes, and you're just even happier. But you should be able to be happy no matter what circumstance you're in. And I think I've learned that, like, I'm in charge of my happiness. My happiness is not like COVID is not in charge of my happiness, right? COVID closing down everything, making flying more dangerous, all of that travel. COVID's not in charge of whether I'm happy. So yeah, I just wanted to say I'm so happy. Over the pandemic, I think I realized that we've been lied to, guys, big time. Big time, big time, big time. And I do want to continue to do things with JetBlue. I do want to continue to have experiences and dreams and love and manifestation, and in aviation, rather. And journalism, I love journalism. It's my craft. It's what I do. But it does not, telling stories shouldn't mean that you can't do other things and that you can't have other experiences. And so I think I'm just really happy and really excited to be here after that realization, right? Because it's a totally different vibe of feeling like I'm not allowed to have so much fun here because, you know, not allowed by the journalism leaders. But I can have as much fun here as I'd like, and I can be as happy here as I'd like, and I can like fly as much as I like, and I can just have fun. And I'm like freaking out in the middle of the airport. Just make sure that any belief you have, you question it. And I think what I've started to do over this pandemic, and especially over this summer, is start to come back to myself. And what did I want to do in the beginning, in the very, 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 very early days of learning I wanted to do journalism? How did I want to do it? What did I think was cool? Before everyone started telling me the path that always was, what did I think, what did I want to do? Why did I get into this? Why did, you know, and the reason why I think it feels even better thinking about it now is because JetBlue was a part of that, right? In the very, very early days. It was also in my early days, it was also the very early days of JetBlue. And T5I, which is the international part of the terminal, did not even exist. They didn't have all the things here that they have now. And so this pilot was coming over. I was like, oh, do you need to? Also, go female pilots. I have a feeling they're going to either take a plane out of here or people are going to deplane or whatever. So I think I'm going to go. My flight leaves at 7:39. It is 6:17. It's 6:17, 6:17. I'm doing military time on my watch now, so still learning. That's another aviation thing that I've decided to just incorporate into my life. There are ways, guys, to be happy even when you can't be at the happiest place ever. And also, I got LED lights in my room now, so it feels like a JetBlue plane. I'm just so happy. I want to, and my watch is blue, which is pretty dope. I just am wishing y'all the best. I hope that you find happiness inside of you, and that you let that happiness be what gets ignited when you see the things outside of you that you love, and when you experience the things in the world that you are passionate about and that you are inspired by. I hope this was meaningful and you took something away from this. And yeah, let's go to Reno. I love you so much. Thank you all for being with me on this journey of this year and this year and a half since COVID, and still taking precautions, still going to be safe. I will be having some vlogs up of my time in Portland and in Reno and driving and all of that, so stay tuned. First, I'm going to go onto the T5 rooftop and I'm going to get Shake Shack, and then we're going to get on my flight. And it doesn't leave until 7:39. I know I board pretty early on, but I usually wait till the end anyway. And with COVID, I think I don't want to be on the aircraft that long. Like, I literally would save myself a few minutes if I could. But at the same time, it's a 6-hour flight, so really, what is the difference? And last thing I'll say about the Reno flight is, I remember I had just started reporting for Airline Geeks when the Reno flight launched, and I remember wanting to do a story on it. I think I had missed it, so I didn't do a story on it, like the timing was off. But flying to Reno is something that no airline did direct from JFK. No airline did direct from New York at all. JetBlue made it happen as New York's hometown airline, and now, after watching that flight for years, since like 2015, I am now taking this flight in 2021 as my first flight back into the sky, and I just feel like that feels incredible, and that feels like so divine timing, like something that I've wanted to do for so long, and it just happened out of nowhere.